Hey everybody, this is Rizon, a React developer with 5 years of experience, and today I want to share with you an icon button component that I built at Increaser so that you can find some interesting bits for your project. Let's jump in. On this component we use two icon buttons that built on the same component. This one is called close icon button and this one a collapse toggle icon button. The close icon button shares the same properties with the shared icon button, but we don't need to provide an icon prop because we set it to close icon by default, and also we set a default color to secondary. So as you can see here, this color is regular, but for close button we most likely would want to have a secondary color by default. Then we have collapse toggle icon button. It acts pretty much the same as close icon button, but we modify the properties a little bit more by adding this is open prop, and for example here is open set to false, but when we click on this button it will be set to true, and then this transform property will rotate an SVG. The icon button itself have these properties, so basically we reuse default button properties, plus we add sprop that will pass to the style component in case you want to render button, for example, at the div. Then we have an icon that is React node. Then color is koff type of button colors. What does this mean? When we pass color, it could be either regular or secondary. Colors are presented as an object with the name and then HSLA form of a color. I talked more about this in video about general buttons, so you can go and check it out to better understand this code. Then we have this container, and inside of it we have interactive area. So for example, if the size is 32 pixels, the container would have the size of 32 pixels, but interactive area would be 120% bigger. And because we have interactive area with position absolute, it won't affect layout. So if you look here, it's aligned with this input because interactive area is positioned absolutely. So if you go back to the container, it have position relative. Then we apply center content CSS. It basically sets display to flex and then align items and justify content. And then we have get same dimension CSS. It is a helper that will set width and height to the same value, and in order to convert any given unit, we will check if it's number and then we add pixels, or otherwise we will use value. So for example here, the size would be maybe string, maybe number, but we'll pass it here and it will convert it to the proper CSS unit. Then interactive area is based on these unstyled buttons that I talked about in the video about buttons. It receives a size and color. So it positioned absolutely. We center the content, we set border radius to 50%, then we use the same function to make size of 120 pixels. Then we convert HSLA color to a CSS unit of a color. We apply font size. It would be set to the same value we pass here. And because we use an SVG, for example here with close icon, we could set height to 1em and width to 1em. So for example, if font size is, let's say, 20 pixels, SVG will have height of 20 pixels and width also of 20 pixels. It will be based on the parent font size. On hover, we want to set background color and make color a little bit light. So that's all. I hope you found something interesting. Stay productive.